plus x2 less than or equal to 21 with your last non-negativity condition that both are greater than or equal to 0. Now, there are three things that my answer has. First thing is to write it in the form of standard standard form, plus adding your slack surplus variables. So your maximization. So how many variables? We have three equation. How many variables will be added? We have three constraints. How many variables will be added? Three constraints will be added. So let me say for the first one S1, for the second one S2, and for the third one S3. Now I will write in my, because all these becomes my variables now. X1, X2, and these three in order to get my optimal solution. Okay. In order to get my optimal solution, my basic variables become these five: X1, X2, S1, S2, and S3. So I'll write these. So for the objective function, okay, so today I am sitting in boardroom. He can join from the next class onwards. Then I'll sit in the classrooms only. Right now I am in the boardroom. He can find some place and he can sit there. It is actually boardroom of management block. So if he can find, he can come. Okay. So this is 2x1 plus 4x2 plus 0s1 plus 0s2 plus 0s3. You will get to know why we have done this. Those who remember previously, then also it's fine. And now constraints we will write in the form of standard form. Since it is less than or equal to, we are adding a slack variable, right? So S1 is the slack variable for it. So plus S1, and I will write these two variables also, but with coefficient as 0. So they are not affecting in any way, right? Is this part clear? Please respond.
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So for the second equation, our slack variable is S2 and others will be 0. This is in order to simplify your table that you are writing. Otherwise, you can ignore these. You can write without writing the 0s1 and 0s2s. But in order to avoid mistakes in your table, this is better. So now I have converted my question into standard form, right? Now the table that we had started with. Second is your initial simplex table. Okay, now for this. Okay. Now just fill in, I'll tell you slowly. So this is CJ. CJ for the whole thing, like we have to make these tables again and again till we get the optimal solution. So your CJ will remain the same, which is nothing but the coefficients from the objective function, which is 2, 4, 0, 0, 0. Okay, this will remain same throughout. Okay, then you have CB, you have your basis, then your variable x1, s2, s1, s2, s3, p and theta. Okay, you have to remember it for a while, then after practicing it will be okay. Now below basis you will be writing your slack or surplus variables. Okay, your initially the values that you take for all these values for all s1, s2, s3s are 0. Okay, as you can see from your objective function, all these three are zeros. So my CB carries this 0, 0, 0. Fine. And here you will fill the constraints, the coefficients from the constraints. So it is 2, 3, 1, 0, 0 and 48. So 2, 3, 1, 0, 0, 48. 13010, 13010, number 42. 11001. And if you can see, this always becomes your identity matrix for the slack variables, which is 21. So far clear? Is it clear so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Then there is again Zj and Cj is repeated. Why? Because there will be a new Cj here. Zj is summation of Cb into Aij. Okay, where Aij's are these from the matrix, from this matrix. I'll mark it from this. Okay, this Aij is represented by this. And your Cj is nothing but your first Cj, the elements from here, minus Zj. Okay. Now, CB is 0 for the first one. Like for the first initial simplex table, all three are 0. So 0 into 2 plus 0 into 1 plus 0 into 1. This one, if I am talking about this, okay, in order to show, I will write CB into A11 plus CB into A21 plus CB into A31. This is for my first Zj, which is because all three CBs are 0. I think I should mark it as CB1, CB2 and CB3. Okay, so this will become 0. 0. All these things are 0 for now. Now your CJ is CJ minus Zj, which is 2, 4, because here all your values were 0, so nothing can be done. Clear? Till this step it is clear?
Yes,
Any
ma'am.
doubt? Let me know. Others? Zj. Okay, Zj is basically multiply. Okay, CB into your first element. So 0 into 2 plus 0 into 1. You will be adding column wise. Your J is representing your column. That is why I have marked the C1. Yeah, 1, 1, 1. So your Z1. Okay, Z1 is this. I will change. I values will change. Your J value will remain the same. Aij. Okay. So your first value corresponding to your A11, it is 0. So 0 into 2 plus 0 into 1 plus 0 into 1. Adding them, I am getting it as 0. So my Z1 is 0. Similarly, Z2 is 0 into 3 plus 0 into 3 plus 0 into 1, which is again 0. Clear? So you will be multiplying your CBs and adding the columns. after multiplying. Clear?
Ma'am, in the next table,
Who had
how the
asked?
CB will vary?
Yeah, I'll show you. I'll tell you. We didn't reach it yet. Okay. The ZJ part is clear? Who had asked?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So now, next step. Next step is we have three things again. We have key column, key row, and key element. After doing all this till what we have done, we have to find these three things. Now, how do we find that? First, we find the key column by getting the maximum from the CJ that I have written here, not the top one. Okay, this CJ will be throughout. Okay, so from this CJ, I have maximum value as 4, right? So this becomes my key column. This whole row becomes my key. This whole row column becomes my key column. Clear? By checking the maximum value of CJ. This has become my key column. Now, in order to find key row, this ratio, this theta that I have marked, I have to calculate the ratio. How do we calculate the ratio? Using your key column. Let me see how. So this will be, you will be dividing your B by your elements from the key column. So 48 by 3, 42 by 3, and 21 by 1. Understood? So 48 by 3 is 16, 42 by 3 is 14, and this is 21. Ratio clear? How we are getting the ratio?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone, please respond.
Ma'am, how do
Yes.
we got the key column?
Key column is maximum value of CJ. So maximum value of CJ from this 2, 4, 000 is 4. So the column which has this value became my key column.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Fine. Yeah. I am asking after every step because like right now it will be sorted. After completing the whole question, we cannot get back properly. So please let me know if you have any concern. I'm again asking. Any doubt so far?
No, ma'am.
I believe not. Okay. Now, key column was by finding maximum of CJ, right? And key row. Key row is found by minimum of this theta. So what is the minimum of the theta? Here from 16, 14 and 21 is 14. So this one. This has become my key row. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now the intersection of the value. Sorry, the intersection of key row and key column is giving me what I want as a key element. So this black mark that I have done is your key element. So once again, I am repeating, key column is after finding your maximum CJ. Okay. After that, you will find a ratio using your key column. So it is basically B divided by, here it is B now, be divided by elements from your key column, respective elements. Okay. And then after finding the ratio, the minimum value will be corresponding to your key row. So my 14 is giving me your key row. The intersection of the two is giving me the key element. Okay. Now what we'll do? Okay. Let me tell you the optimal solution. When do we say that I have got my optimal solution? When this lower value of Cj is less than or equal to 0. The values, all values should either be negative or should be 0. Okay. Now these are positive. So I have to iterate. I have to make the table again. How do we do that now? So my third step is making the table in order to get the optimal solution. First step, after finding key element, if the key element is not 1, see here it is 3. I'll make the row transformations so that this becomes 1. So third one, my second row, right? Second row it is. So I will do R2 transforms to R2 by 3. Doing so, I will get it as 1, right? So this becomes 1 by 3, 1. This is the question. This is how they have made this solution. Simplex method. How do we get the optimal solution? When your Cj is less than or equal to 0. This is the method. Fine. Okay. So what was I saying? After doing the row transformation, let's see what do we get. So I have to make the table once again. Okay, as I said, your first things will be same. Cj basis EB. This was 24000. X1, X2, S1, S2, S3. Now one more change that we will get. One change that we will get is from here you can see from the key column and row there will be one exiting and one entering variable. Okay, leaving and entering variable. So from this your S2 becomes your leaving variable, because this basis will give me the final solution, the optimal solution. So S2 is my leaving variable and X2 is my entering variable. Understood how? It is regarding your key column and key row. So this becomes S1 will remain same, S2 will become X2 and S3 will remain same. Clear so far? This part clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Zj and Cj we have to find. Now this is the coefficient from objective function now. So coefficient from objective function is what? For S1 is 0, for X2 it is now 4, and for S3 is 0. Correct? CB filling is fine. Understood? Somebody had asked how it changes in the next.
Once again, explain.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Explain once again.
Yeah. So here you've understood using your key column and key row, you will understand the leaving and entering variable. So your key row has S2, that will be your leaving variable, and your entering variable will be X2. That is clear. Now, these CB are nothing but coefficients of the variable basis from the objective function. Now, my bases are S1, X2 and S3. The coefficients for them in the question is S1 is 0, X2 is 4 and S3 is 0. So I have made 0, 4, 0. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now again, you have to fill C R2 by 3 so that I can get my key element as 1. So it becomes 1 by 3, 1, 0, 1 by 3, 0 and 42 by 3. So that is 14, right? So 1 by 3, 1, 0, 1 by 3, 0 and 14, right? This is how we have got here. Okay, then now what I have to do is I have to make elements above and below, like all other elements in my this thing, in my key column as 0. So my first value should be 0, second value, last value, third value should be 0. How do we make the transformation? We can see from here, your R1 will transform from R1 minus, this R1 had 3, no? 3 R2. And your R3 will be transforming from R3 minus R1. R2, sorry. I'll be using this row. I cannot make table again and again. That is why I am writing all the transformations all together. So first step is making your, this one, your key element as 1. After making key element as 1, you have to make the transformations such that your these values are zeros. Clear? Now let me see how we are getting R1 minus 3R2. So 2 minus 3, it is minus 1. Okay, 1 minus 0, it is 1. 0, 0. So this is minus 1, minus 3 by 3, no? Minus 1. And this will be 0. 48 minus 3 into 14. How much it will be? 48 minus 3 into 14 is 40.
Ma'am, second transformation, it's R1 minus 3 R3, ma'am.
Second transformation is
R1 minus 3 R3, ma'am.
R3, no, R2 only. These are the 3, no? This is my R1, R2. My key row is R2, right? So all transformations will be using R2 only.
Yes, ma'am. Fine, ma'am. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Be careful that the row you are using R2 is this for the transformation. Okay. For the transformation, you are using these values, not the above one. Here.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any confusion, anybody? Otherwise, what you will have to rewrite again and again as we do in for inverse, finding inverse or finding the variables x1, x2, x3 values. Rather than that, because this table is already big enough, you do all the transformations all together by just writing it here. But step by step. First, you have to make this one. First, you have to make your this variable, the key element as 1. After making key element as 1, you have to use that row for making the others 0. Okay. So similarly, third one becomes 1 minus 1 by 3. So 1 minus 1 by 3 is 2 by 3. Next is that this becomes 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 minus 1 by 3 is minus 1 by 3. 1 minus 1 by 3 is 2 by 3. 21 minus 14. 21 minus 14 is how much?
7.
7, yeah. So let me just check. 2 by 3. 0, 0 minus 1 by 3. The last bit I have. Okay, this is 0, no? Sorry. This is 1 minus 0, which is 1. Is it clear, people? B and theta. The table, this matrix is clear. After making your key element as 1, you have to do transformations so that other elements in that same column becomes 0. Now repeat. Zj will be 0 into minus 1 plus 4 into 1 by 3. Let me write that. Z1 is 0 into minus 1 plus 4 into minus 1 by 3 plus minus 0 into 2 by 3, which is nothing but 4 by 3. Here it will be 4. Here it will be 0. Here it will be 4 by 3. Here it will be 0. Fine. Now Cj minus Zj. Cj is nothing but Cj minus Zj. So 2 minus 4 by 3 is 2 by 3. 4 minus 4 is 0. 0. Minus 4 by 3 and 0. Clear, everyone?
Yes.
So, yeah. But again, as you can see, this number is positive. Others are either 0 or negative, but this is positive. So I have to again do the iteration in order to get the optimal solution. Now, in order to get it, what we have to do, we have to find your key column and key row again. So work on it and tell me. Meanwhile, I'll take attendance. You people tell me what is my key column, key row, and the key element. Start working on it. Okay, attend your roll call. Abel,
Present, ma'am. Present, ma'am.
Abhay,
Present, ma'am.
Abhinav,
Present, ma'am.
Adarsh,
Present, ma'am.
Aditya,
Present, ma'am.
Ananya,
Present, ma'am.
Ankit,
Present, ma'am.
Ansh,
Present, ma'am.
Apurva,
Present, ma'am.
Arka,
Present, ma'am.
Arshan,
Present, ma'am.
Present, ma'am.
Debositha, Dhruv,
Present, ma'am.
Divya,
Present, ma'am.
Ekansh, David,
Present, ma'am.
Haril,
Present, ma'am.
Haripriya,
Present, ma'am.
Harishankar,
Present, ma'am.
Harshita,
Present, ma'am.
Hisham,
Present, ma'am.
Krishnakant, Kushagra,
Present,
Love,
Present, ma'am.
Vasanda, Krishan, Asif,
Present, ma'am.
Nisha,
Present, ma'am.
Manit,
Present, ma'am.
Nandana,
Present, ma'am.
Nitya,
Present, ma'am.
Srinivasa,
Present, ma'am.
Prashita,
Present, ma'am.
Prince,
Present, ma'am.
Priyanshu,
Present, ma'am.
Ritik,
Present, ma'am.
Ritika,
Present, ma'am.
Rohan,
Present, ma'am.
Ritika, Rohit,
Present, ma'am.
Saran,
Present, ma'am.
Sanskriti,
Present.
Present, ma'am.
Sarthak,
Present, ma'am.
Shriyal,
Present, ma'am.
Shruti Manjari,
Present, ma'am.
Shruti Yadav,
Present, ma'am.
Shubhangi,
Present, ma'am.
Shuchita,
Present, ma'am.
Siddhi,
Present, ma'am.
Sucheta,
Present, ma'am.
Suhani,
Present,
Gulati, Suhani Jain,
ma'am.
Surjaya,
Present, ma'am.
Ryan,
Present, ma'am.
Tanay,
Present, ma'am.
Tanmay, Tiger,
Present, ma'am.
Kamya,
Present, ma'am.
Vaibhav,
Present, ma'am.
Anshika,
Present, ma'am.
Yash,
Present, ma'am.
Yasmin,
Present, ma'am.
Yuvan, Rohit, Aryan, okay. The absentees are Debositha, Ekansh, Krishnakant, Krishan, Ritik, Ritika.
Ma'am,
Okay.
Ritik present.
Ritika, not Ritik. Sorry. Okay. Fine. Absentees, Debositha, Ekansh, Krishnakant, Rohit and Aryan. Rohit Sherawat and Aryan. Okay. Once again. Debosidha, Ekansh, Krishnakant, Rohit and Aryan. Rohit Sherawat, Aryan. Okay. Now I've got few answers. So again, maximum of column, maximum of CJ is 2 by 3. That we can easily see. So your key column became our C1, right? This has been your key column. Now using the key column, you will be finding your theta. So it will be 6 by -1. We have not -1, no? Just +1 itself. Somebody had told me. Yeah, first row is +1 only. So it is 6 by 1, which is 6. 14 by 1 by 3 is 14 into 3, which is nothing but 42. Then it is 7 into 3 by 2, that is 21 by 2. So minimum of this is 21 by 2 is something 10 something. So this becomes your R1 becomes your key row. Clear to everyone? Right? I hope everyone had done. So this has become my key element. Please respond. So far good?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then our next iteration. So I'll quickly fill this. 24000 CB. Now what is my entering and what is my leaving variable? Can you tell me? What is my entering and what is my leaving variable? Using your key column and key row. Leaving is S1, right? And what is your entering? X1. Yeah. So your S1, X1, X2 and X3. Now coefficients from the objective function is 2, 4 and 0, right? This we have to build. Now since your element is +1 itself, the key element is 1 itself, you don't have to do any transformation for that. So I will write it as it is 1, 0, 1, -1, 0 and 6. Now what is the other step? Making all the elements below this as 0. So what will I do? Your R2 will be R2 minus 1 by 3 R1 and R3 will be R3 minus 2 by 3 R1. Clear everyone? So what is this? This is 0, 1 minus 0, sorry. Okay. 1 minus 1 by 3, 2 by 3. No, 0 minus 1 by 3. One by 3 plus 1 by 3, 0 and 0. Let me know if I'm making anything wrong. 14 minus 2, 12. I made some mistake here in the second row. Okay, 1 by 3 minus of minus plus 1 by 3. So that becomes 2 by 3. Okay, next one is R3 minus 2 by 3 R1. So this is 0. This is 0. This is minus 2 by 3. Minus 1 by 3 plus 2 by 3. So this becomes 1 by 3. This is 1. This is again 7 minus 4, right? 3. Fine. Who's that? Okay. Now fill because it's time up. Check for Zj and Cj. Fill in and tell me. We'll complete it tomorrow. We'll see if we need another iteration or not. If you are getting, okay, complete it. If you are getting Cj as less than or equal to 0, then your answer is complete. I'll tell you how are we writing the final answer. If not, do the iteration once again. Okay. We'll do one more question because otherwise it won't be clear to everyone. So yeah. Thank you for joining. We'll complete it in the next class. Good day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.